Alrighty, welcome guys to the first edition of the P&T Wrestling Channel. Joey's fired, but still here. Just kidding. Joey, if you see this, we're sorry. We'll bring you back. Don't worry. You were just cut for this episode. Today we're going to be having our first guest, one half of LS11 Universe. I'm sure most of you guys know who he is from the Discord. Makes great content. You guys have seen it. And here's GREGTREE as well, my co-host.
What's up?
A little bit chalked, but hey, don't worry. Zander really came through and was a superhero for us, even though we're in the same setup. Neither one of us could figure out my computer because we're buffoons.
Exactly.
But Zander will let you have this floor if you want to introduce yourself and what you do.
Let's see if I can adjust to this. Hello, PTW Universe. My name is Zander, and welcome to the Matta and GREGTREE podcast. Now, if you remember the historic moment when Ric Flair brought Big Gold to WWF, I have brought the LS11 Universe Predictions Championship with me to this podcast. How you guys doing?
Okay, man's flexing a bit.
Maybe I'll win it one day.
Yeah,
we'll see.
I'll be a nice little transitional champion for you. We got to get one of our own now. So, I mean, you are 242 episodes deep in your universe after today, correct?
Yeah. A lot more than that recorded.
So you want to walk us through how far this channel has came? I mean, I've seen your first episode, and now it's definitely improved, to say the least.
Oh, very much so. I mean, for those that don't know, I started this in 2014, actually, on an older channel where it was just me with a camera, pointed at a TV, playing WWE 2K14 with simpler times like WWE Champion CM Punk and World Heavyweight Champion Randy Orton, who would then lose them a month into their reigns, whatever that was about. But, coming back to doing a universe was something I've wanted to do since like 2018. Had started it up several times, but I wasn't talking to Ray for a while. We started talking again in 2019 around the time my great granddad got sick, just because I needed someone, and he was the only person that was responding. And we started talking about doing universe. I ran a couple ideas by him, and he started. I was like, you just want to come on 50-50 with me? And, well, here we are, 242 episodes and 558 subscribers later.
And if you want to hear even more story about Zander and Ray coming back together, I'm an avid podcast listener of their podcast. Subscribe to their Patreon, link in the description, and watch episode 1. You'll find out.
Yeah, you can get that podcast for as low as $1 a month.
Exactly. Man, why are we doing this for free? No, I'm just kidding, guys. We love you. Maybe Patreon coming soon, depending on your guys' thoughts in the comments down below.
Pay for it. People don't watch it. It's free.
That's factual. We'll have like an average view duration of 3 minutes. But I mean, you guys have been killing it recently. Your Bad Blood pay-per-view. I'm pretty caught up with your universe mode. I've watched off and on multiple times. Bad Blood, personally saying, was by far your best pay-per-view in my opinion.
I definitely agree with at least season 2. I don't know. I think Mania season 1 is still up there though.
I mean, I'm sure that's your baby, most viewed video on the channel, so
oh yeah,
can't really discourage it.
Yeah.
So, I mean, are we going to see more pay-per-views like that going forward? Is that more of a normal thing now?
Oof. I mean, I don't really know what made Bad Blood so special is what it is. I think maybe it was one of the first pay-per-views where it's been both me and Ray for just every pay-per-view in a row. I think, the UE winning all the gold on it was a big part of it. But ultimately, I mean, pay-per-views are getting bigger and better. I think Survivor Series is full of a lot of surprises. I mean, technically a Survivor Series spoiler may have been leaked over in the LS11 Universe Discord in our dirt sheet where I posted 10 spoilers and one of them is true. So you'll have to see.
I mean, definitely. I mean, I was there for the entire live premiere and you guys were 15, 16 people deep the entire time, which is very impressive. Round off of applause right there.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, I don't know what that was all about.
Hey man, Sami Zayn is El Generico. Just remember.
I'm sorry. What? You gonna start telling me that Dr. Isaac Yankum, MD, is Kane?
Nope, never. But to segue into the next thing, I mean, what are the future? I mean, I know every season of Universe Mode you get a new house because you're a big baller like that.
Oh yeah, obviously. It's never been. It's not a coincidence at all.
So, I mean, I see that you guys do the universe. That's obviously the main focus of the channel. What is more things? I mean, you guys do predictions. Obviously, the podcast, what's Patreon exclusive. Check it out. And the sub-series. So, like, what more direction do you want to take the channel? Like a year from now, where do you want to see LS11 universe?
Well, I think we've got a good thing going with the whole Monday, Wednesday, Friday for, universe with Raw, NXT, SmackDown. Although some people have said we should cancel NXT. So, like a whopping 0.5% of our audience thinks we should cancel NXT. 95.5 don't think we should, but when do we ever listen to the majority? But anyway, I think we got a good thing going there. ARW, my fantasy wrestling thing, that's my baby. Ray could give two craps about that. I love that. I'd love to see it. It's been growing a lot lately too, so that's been a lot of fun. I'd really love for the side series to pick up. Like I've got my character Carnold doing a SVR 2007 season mode.
Character,
friend, clone. He's my friend. Yeah, Carnold. Yeah,
that's what I thought. That's what I thought.
Yeah. Different people. We're just really good at impressions of each other.
Keep going this real quick. I'm about to lock this door.
Yeah, sure. Go ahead.
Podcast.
So what inspired you to make Universe Mode?
That's a great question. So 2014, like I said, when I started, and I was watching guys like Brendan Plays, like MathWiz, guys like them are really what got me started with my ideas. Then they kind of started to slowly phase out around the time I did. I quit in 2018, right before I graduated, actually. I still, ironically, Hell in a Cell, which is the October pay-per-view, was the last pay-per-view I ever did, and Bad Blood's now one of the best pay-per-views I've ever done. So, but yeah, that's kind of what inspired me to start. And then, of course, just wanted to get back into wrestling as a YouTube thing was what brought me back into the fold. And I thought the champion lineup was just perfect enough at the time to start it up with the real life guys. I had Rollins, AJ, and the Viking Raiders, and then I had Brock, Nakamura, and the Revival. So that was pretty good for what I could get. So it's
good
just
lineup to start it.
I mean, we did a similar thing. We started in September from where we canceled our original one because I've canceled one series with him and he's canceled two now, becoming part of the team. And we thought, hey, two people can really, really help this thing out, make it a lot easier and longevity sake.
Yeah. And I just know from experience of when I was putting out 2 episodes a week, over an hour long of Universe Mode compared to now just doing 1 a week and then also doing pay-per-views completely on my own. It was a stressful thing as is. Plus I was doing other projects on the side like NBA and UFC and stuff. And a lot of it was just getting mixed and it would result in like delays and whatnot.
Yeah.
So like us personally, we're obviously starting a podcast. We're trying to add that other content to the channel because at the end of the day, Universe Mode is going to take the most time. So we're really trying to get that content going, other stuff just for other things to maybe draw more people in.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
To get ourselves out there more. I don't know.
See, some content, say like podcasts is a perfect place that you see more personal side. Our Discord especially. I think most creators' Discords, you see much more personal side of a creator.
Yeah, I love the Discord family, man. It has definitely grown.
Oh yeah, it's kind of fun.
Growing more and more each day. Some people I don't even know in there. They join and never talk again. But hey, it is what it is.
Yeah.
The channel's consistently growing for us. We came back with 81 subscribers about a month ago. We just did our best month in Universe Mode history, on channel history, I should say. We are up to 123, so that's 43 subscribers in a month. Not bad. I would love to keep that rate. It was kind of hard going from restarting all over again, but hey, man, it's worth it. I'm already more happy with what we've done on this channel than I ever was with the Prince Matta channel.
Understandable.
Yeah, no. And we were talking about it yesterday when we were hanging out. Our Universe Modes are so similar in time that our Manias are going to come out like within the same month, most likely.
Oh man, really?
Because Havoc is coming up, and that's the October pay-per-view.
You guys have a lot better rate than us, but yeah.
Yeah, we're right there. We were right there together. In fact, I've got all the dates in my document here. So do a little behind the scenes here. I'll pull up my document and I'll tell you exactly when Mania is going to be.
Yeah, so we're trying to get there's going to be some weeks where we drop 3 episodes a week, like Raw, SmackDown, Raw, or SmackDown, Raw, SmackDown, just depending, just to keep a good rate here so far. But we're trying to get at least 2 episodes out a week, at least.
Yeah.
Yeah, so our Mania is going to be on October 9th, and a little fun tease about our Mania. A typical episode of Universe, pay-per-view wise, on a Google Doc at size 11 font, takes up maybe a quarter of a page. WrestleMania in total, just with everything we've got planned, takes up 4 full pages of document.
Wow.
Will it be a 2-night event this year?
No, it's still going to be one night. You guys might be there a little longer than the 3.5 hours 2020 had, but you know.
I remember Math Wiz because I used.
Oh, there we go. Lost you guys for a second.
Oh, well, Math Wiz had a 6-hour WrestleMania when I used to watch
remember
it.
that. Yep.
I think it had the 60-man Iron Man match between Ambrose and Rollins.
Yep, I remember that. I think that was his final Mania.
I believe so. I think he didn't get much further than that afterwards.
Yeah, I think we got about 3 months after that. I think we got a little after SummerSlam is where it came to a close again.
But I want to segue into a thing. I mean, you see a lot of people who do this universe mode stuff who just stop going.
Yeah.
Like there's a very large, like Murph's, in my opinion, is probably the biggest universe mode creator at this point. I think Brendan Plays is about to quit as well.
That's
We've
what
seen
I've
guys
heard
like
of.
Matt Wiz leave the community. We've seen Delzinski. So who knows?
I think
we've had Dengots start and stop about 50 universe modes in the last 7 years.
Yeah.
Gotta love Dangs though.
Yeah, I think if Delzinski would have continued doing what he was doing, he could have been one of, if not the biggest universe mode YouTuber. I mean, he blew up from it. I think right now he's at 384,000 subscribers.
I mean, we completely forgot Gordon Perkins, but you know.
Yeah.
Their universe mode's a little more arcadey style.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's a lot of fun though.
Yeah, I mean, whatever suits yourself. I mean, you can it's your universe mode at the end of the day. It's YouTube, not us tube. So
yeah.
Oh yeah.
So I mean, what is the outlook with Ray? I mean, you guys have been doing this. I mean, what is the end goal here for you and Ray? Hypothetically,
ultimately, we'd love this to be a career, like getting to write a fantasy wrestling show. That's the dream right there. But I mean, even if it never becomes monetizable, we just have so much fun doing it that it's just kind of a nice way to make friends and show off our creative side.
Yeah.
I mean, I think you guys, I personally do believe you guys will hit there one day. I mean, you're sitting about like 550, 552, I think the last time I saw.
We're coming up on 560 as of today, actually.
So, I mean, you're on the way there. You're slowly trucking. I mean, I subscribed to you guys when I think you guys had like maybe 70 subscribers or something like that. I mean, you've slowly just been growing and growing. At this rate, what would you say? I mean, it looks like as if you guys are picking up almost 100 subs every pay-per-view lately.
Yeah, it's debatable.
But, I mean, especially in the slow time of wrestling, like with no new game, I think that new game is really going to serve you guys well.
Yeah, I mean, I think we hit 500 in the time between SummerSlam and now. So that's been almost 2 months, or that's been 2 months, I suppose.
So, I mean, Mania was probably your biggest success so far. What would you say your favorite pay-per-view personally is so far?
Well, Bad Blood that we've talked about. I love that one. I don't think anyone expected 6 of 8 titles to change hands on the main roster.
Absolutely not.
Especially, I don't think anyone saw the cash in coming. At least not when Ciampa won. I mean, in all fairness, Bad Blood's a bit of an end of an era. It's the first time it's only the second time actually in our universe where Tommaso Ciampa has not been a champion.
I mean, would you say he's your biggest success so far in universe mode story-wise?
I'd say he's my biggest success. Ray might make some arguments for some guys from NXT, but Ciampa was a pet. Like I tell this story all the time. Ciampa's Intercontinental title win, I had to fight with Ray to get that to happen. Like Ray did not have faith that Ciampa Nakamura was going to sell, and then here we are 2 years later, and Ciampa's our biggest star.
Yeah, I would definitely agree that Ciampa is by far your biggest star in universe mode. I mean, nobody wanted him. Let's be honest. I think everybody would have been happy if he held that belt to Mania.
Oh, I think so. But obviously, you had to get the Adam Cole cash in somewhere, and you didn't want to split up the UE yet.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I mean, it's a better time. I mean, Ciampa came out of a grueling Hell in a Cell match. Was tagged by UE. It makes sense. Doesn't make Ciampa look weak. It makes Adam Cole look good. I mean, the guy's 13-0 in season 2 of Universe Mode. So.
Yeah, I got the whole win-loss stuff. I see you've been looking at that.
Mm-hmm. Yes, sir. I love Bo Dallas's record of 0-19.
I know Bo Dallas actually got 3 wins in season 2 before his release.
Oh, really?
There was a small Bo Dallas push coming. I was actually getting ready to push him, and then he got released.
Believe, baby.
Yeah, exactly. I was so excited, and then he got released.
So when we were talking earlier, you said your Mania is looking at around October 9th, right?
Correct.
So when do you think the next game will release? Because it's bound to be similar to around that time.
Yeah, that's what I've been worried about. They usually come out mid to late October, and that's kind of what it's looking like. And I'm hoping for late October because I think I'd like to get through Backlash Season 3 before we
Mhm.
pick up on the new game because
Yeah.
there's a lot of stuff that I think needs to get done before I'm ready to transition to a whole new game.
Yeah, no, definitely. I mean, especially since if the game comes out and it's not it doesn't feel like it's ready to be released yet, and having to go to that and then go back to what you were doing, like
Right.
it's just one of those. It's like gambling basically. You don't know whether the game is gonna be good or not, so to transition to another game is a risky call.
Yeah, and I've been bit by that with ARW before. Like I started ARW in 2019 and I had that ready to go. Like I'd recorded, I think it was August when I got through the November episodes. And I was like, November's where we're ending it. 2K20 will be out. It'll be great. Famous last words. And we're going to transition to that. So like I had everything removed from my game, all the created characters and everything, so I could make room on my PlayStation. And then lo and behold, 20 is a steaming pile of crap, and I had to come crawling back to 19.
And then remake everything and
Yep. And then
So
spend
what-
another $100 for the PC version.
Yeah, so with 22 coming out, are you gonna? Do you think there will be mods for that? Do you think it'll be moddable off rip?
Well, probably not within the first like week or two, but it took about 3 weeks before 2K19 was moddable, and 2K20 people are finally figuring out how to get character models modded in. So I think it'll happen.
They're just now figuring that out. Dang.
Well, with Ukes gone, it made it a lot harder. Like there's a whole program for the Ukes games that you can do it with, that you can just insert characters in the game with. It's what I use. But then 20 made that impossible to be compatible with that program. And then I don't know what people have done because I uninstalled 20 in February just because I needed the space. And I never bothered to go back.
I mean, we're split personally. I'm 19. He's 20.
yeah.
We're even split on consoles at this point. I'm Xbox One. He's PS4 because my PSN
Meh.
was hacked. Fun.
Fun times.
So I'm personally looking to get a PC for when 22 comes out because if it's moddable off rip, then that makes there's no sense not to get a PC and do it.
Oh, absolutely.
If all the upcoming games are going to be moddable, why wouldn't I? I mean, whenever somebody new debuted, we be able to put them in. I mean, 2K20, we never even got DLC. We got the freaking stupid like
The
Alexa Bliss
Originals,
robots.
yeah.
Yeah,
Whatever
what
all
was the
that was
dumbest
about.
thing?
The Fiend was really the only new character we got, and even then, that's Bray Wyatt.
And then Keith Lee and Ciampa we got from
Keith
20
Lee, Ciampa, Riddle
and Riddle.
were the only ones that came on launch. Like, but it would have been nice to get guys like.
I'm hoping we get Walter. That's the biggest one I'm wanting.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
I would love Walter.
Austin Theory.
I mean, a lot of the
I'm excited
NXT
for it.
guys. NXT needs to get a large incoming roster.
Yeah, there's a couple dark horses that I'd love to see, but I don't think are going to happen. Like for reasons that will become apparent in how far away is October? 5 months, so 6-7 months. Sam Gradwell from NXT UK, someone I'd like to see, but that's one I highly doubt. Joseph Connors, also from NXT UK, that we're clearly heavily pushing. I mean, he's fighting Ricochet for the Cruiserweight title in a week and a half.
Yeah.
So I'd love to see him in the game, but again,
I'm going to be curious if we see a Samoa Joe in the game or guys like that who just recently got released. I'm assuming not, but potentially because the game's been being developed for such a long portion of time.
Yeah, I think it's a case-by-case basis. I mean, you kind of look back, you had 2K16 where it was kind of the last appearance for a lot of people, but then like Cody Rhodes left the company July 2016. He was in 2K17, but then Ryback departed in August 2016, and he wasn't. So
it'll be interesting to just see like what leap and bounds they make because this roster they can't like make this game safe almost like where it's not a lot like this game needs to be huge for 2K to.
Oh, absolutely.
Like this needs to be the best game they probably release. I mean, they've had 2 years, and honestly, in my opinion, they should stick to a bi-yearly release. Like, I don't need a new game every year.
No,
like, we should have a bi-yearly release with more DLC. Simple.
Yeah, a bi-yearly with live updates is what I'm thinking.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and I think especially with 2K taking over, I mean, they do it with their NBA games. They should update character models every like 3 months or so.
Yeah, and the new 2K
absolutely.
games on next gen have freaking where you can choose multiple different haircuts for the NBA players.
Yeah.
Oh wow.
So why is that not a thing for us on the WWE games? Like, I don't know. Like 2K20, they owe us a lot after 2K20. I mean, that game was just released for money.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, and I'm
It
one
was-
of the idiots who bought the collector's
It
edition.
was a
so.
quick cash grab. I did the same thing. I bought the $100 edition of the game because I thought it was going to be amazing. I saw Samojo's entrance and I was so pumped, and I was like, "This game looks great." Like the graphics weren't terrible, and then when I went to go play it, the graphics were terrible.
Yeah,
It looked
you
nothing
paid
like the test
$100.
footage.
You paid $100 for a PS4 game, and you got a PS2 game.
Yeah, it was definitely rough. I mean,
Yeah.
you started on that game. What's crazy? I mean, our original universe started on 19, and then we stopped. We've actually technically had 3 universe modes. Now I think about it. Man, we've been very inconsistent. But yeah, I mean, this one's the long haul. It would be very nice to see if we get a functioning WWE game and see what it can do to the community.
Yeah.
Oh yeah,
I
think so.
To see if we can really like get a lot, not even a lot of creators, but a lot more people back in this community for the smaller channels and even the bigger channels like Merce and stuff. Like the guy only has 24K. I mean, he should have so many more subscribers. It's ridiculous.
Yeah, and it's funny. It's like he's got so many, but I genuinely popped into his premiere he had today for his episode of Raw. There weren't many people in the live chat, and that's not me knocking him. I mean, we have only a handful of people in our live chats. But what was really funny was just how many names in that live chat I recognized from my own live chats. Like some specific people we've talked about this week that I won't mention by name were in that live chat.
Yeah, it's like it's very like all the same people rewatching the same universe modes, all these different universe ones. I would love to see more people come to the universe mode community. I know it's not the most popular thing. I mean, probably in 2K wise, I mean, now it's the one-off videos a lot of people have been doing. But
yeah, I jumped on that trend a little bit too.
But the my career fan base has been pretty big, and then I would really love to see the universe mode community become one of the bigger communities out there.
Yeah,
at least in wrestling.
Yeah, and it's kind of a miracle my career has such a big community when you've got such standout characters like Buzz and Trey and Red. Just such great characters.
I mean, a lot of guys have been just doing the My Career universes have been amazing for them. It's really helped them out. So I would love to see more attention almost on universe mode.
Yeah.
I'm really hoping we're getting a universe mode with GM features in the possible future instead of a full GM mode, because that would just, if they take universe mode out of the game, that would be horrendous.
Don't give me that. Don't put that in.
That would kill an entire community, man. I mean, I don't use universe mode besides recording the show intro for my series. Everything's done through Exhibition. So
but of course we do ours very differently. Like you guys go through a whole show, and I do. Well, we're gonna watch the first match, and then here's some of the stuff that happened on the show, and now here's the last 2 matches.
Yeah. I mean, there's very many different styles to do. I mean, that obviously would hurt you a hell of a lot more.
Yeah,
but
I'd have
they
to figure
can't.
out something.
They wouldn't be able to. I mean, at that point, I guess stay on 19. I really wouldn't know.
Yeah, I don't know. I'd have to. That'd be a case by case basis, I suppose.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, no, definitely. So, what is your opinion on the whole create a story thing? I've seen numerous creators say that they don't want the create a story feature to be added back. So, like, what are your thoughts on it?
So, create a story was my favorite part of 2K14. I played the hell out of that when I had 2K14.
Yeah.
7 years ago. We're not going to mention that fact. I feel the goatee turning gray when I say that. I didn't even have it back then. Anyway, create a story. I played the crap out of that when I had 2K14. So just some of the cutscenes in it were so great, just that I'd love to use them for Universe. Like one I specifically remember that was just so stupid, but I loved it, was someone making their entrance and someone dives off the Titantron Jeff Hardy style onto them.
So
like
I know
there's an upcoming feud that would be perfect for me.
So I know you guys have a thing when you hit the $50 threshold on Patreon. I actually had an idea for you. What you're going to do a Patreon exclusive universe mode. Have you guys thought about maybe doing a throwback game instead? Like maybe going back to a WWE 2K14 or something like that to revisit that I mean, since it's only going to be Patreon, I feel like that could be really interesting and a great selling point.
Well, it could be, and the thing there is, it's really going to be up to the Patreons because we're going to do a poll when we hit the $50 threshold, which we're painfully close to and have been since like September. Like we're at 39 a month out of 50. Like we need 2 more Patreon backers at the 10, one at the 10 and one at anything else, and we'd be there. But anyway, it's gonna all be up to Patreons. Like we've talked about what eras we're gonna do. Like the options we're leaning on are Attitude Era, Invasion, AEW, and Ruthless Aggression. And I think we all know AEW is gonna win that in a landslide, which is why in the Patreon trailer I use a clip of the Young Bucks.
Oof, not a fan personally. Not a big AEW guy personally. But hey, that's my personal.
I feel like just like a lot of stuff when it comes to AEW is there's like a threshold on it. I guess like you're limited to the superstars you can kind of use. I mean, you could pull Impact guys and like NJPW guys like into it and make it like one collective kind of brand. But like when it comes to those universe modes, I feel like there's just kind of like a cap in a way. I don't know. It's kind of hard to explain.
Oh yeah.
My big thing is like the longevity of it, if that makes sense.
Yeah, well, the thing with our Patreon one is we've decided it's going to run from essentially night after that show, that brand's Mania, through whatever the promotion's WrestleMania is, and then it's done. And then we'll start slowly releasing it. Yeah, 1 year at a time. Then we're going to slowly release it into the public the following year.
Okay.
Oh, okay. So eventually it will become. Have you guys thought about maybe doing the podcast like that, where 2 older episodes get released?
We considered it, but we haven't even hit 20 episodes yet. So maybe around the 1 year mark or something, we'll release episode 1.
Because that's coming up. I believe your first episode was in September, October, right?
It was the week we had 100 subscribers, which was the last week of, which was actually September 1st when we had 100 subs. I only remember that because the show I appeared on that helped me get to 100 was the night before.
I mean, you guys are really trucking at this point, in my opinion. I mean, I feel like by the time WWE2K22 come out, I would assume you guys would probably be at 1,000.
Yeah, that scares me a little bit. I put out a tweet yesterday that may have doomed myself. I said if we hit 750 by my birthday, which is in end of July, that I would shave off the goatee and go just mustache for a month. And that if we hit 1,000, I would also do that, and I would dye my hair a color of the audience's choosing.
I might have to do that myself. Say if we hit 1,000 before the next game, I'll shave my head.
See, I can't do my head. I said I was going to do it if Hell in a Cell did an DQ in real life this year, and I was fortunate enough that it didn't, but I was unfortunate enough that Randy Orton won the fucking title in 2020.
Hey, man, he's trying to get that 16 wins. So my random question is, will we ever see a 2-time world champion in universe mode?
Oh, absolutely. I think it's a matter of when, not if. It's just been a matter of, we're coming up on 2 years, so you want to get everyone in there. I mean, you can count the number of world heavyweight champions on one hand. You got Rollins, McIntyre, Ciampa, Cole.
Yeah.
And then the WWE title, it's only been a little more than that, and that's thanks to a certain
exact.
Wow. Yeah, he knows more than I do, apparently.
So we were scanning over your document yesterday for like probably a good hour looking in depth at a lot of the stuff.
Well, I'm glad someone's getting some use out of it. I saw some people were checking it out. It doesn't tell me who's looking. It just says like anonymous animal on Google Docs. But yeah.
Okay.
I mean, 7 WWE champions, only 2 NXT champions, so it's bound to happen.
Which is insane.
Eventually. Oh yeah.
I mean, how many days is Pete Dunne reign at this point? Is he about to pass up Cole or?
No. Cole. Pete Dunne would have to make it.
I think.
Yeah, Cole. So Cole held it from night after WrestleMania to when we started through the Takeover Mania. So essentially, he held it for a calendar year in universe. And Dunne is coming up on, I believe, 6, maybe 7 months now.
Oh, okay. I always think you're in year 3 for some reason. I don't know why.
No, we're planning year 3 already, though.
So how true does those bookings typically stay when you play long term? Because we planned long term, and let me just say, nothing has stayed.
I think our Mania card we had like probably what originally.
I don't think
it was
there's
like,
one match.
It was 12 matches. I think 2 matches have stayed. The other 10 have been shifted.
Well, let's see. Without spoiling much, let me see how many matches are on our upcoming Mania.
Because we're thinking right now of doing 2 nights as of now, potentially.
Hang on.
Because we kind of have that. Go ahead.
So our upcoming Mania is a 13 match card, and I just realized a significantly easier way to see this card without scrolling up and down. So it's a 13 match card, and it's kind of a mix. So our main event, when we get there, has been set in stone for pretty much since the beginning of the season.
Okay.
But then it's kind of a mixed bag. So out of these 13, there are 1, 2, 3, 4 matches where everything stayed the same, and then 1 match where the competitors have been shifted around a little bit. So it is a matter of we plan out the pay-per-views first, is what we do. Mm-hmm. So probably in 2 months from now, when we're at the Rumble, Ray and I are going to plan out all the pay-per-views of season 3. And then as people get released, as new people come in, or as we have better ideas, we're going to come up with different stuff.
So like my booking is definitely week to week. That's just how I comprehend things better. I mean, Roman Reigns was supposed to lose the title about 4 weeks ago. Didn't happen. I changed my mind. I've been all over the place. Now I enjoy booking Roman, so I have no idea when I want him to have the belt and potentially lose it. I mean, I've just been enjoying him, and he's been my favorite wrestler to watch recently, personally.
Yeah.
And in universe mode, I feel like I have so much more longevity with him if he's champion for longer too.
Yeah.
But I honestly don't know. He might lose that Survivor Series for all I know. I'm just so like week to week where I could potentially pull the trigger. I couldn't tell you until the day of.
Right, and that was almost to an extent how it was with Ciampa with the World Heavyweight title. We always knew the end game was for Adam Cole to cash in on Ciampa, at least after we. So I've told the AEW invasion story on the Patreon podcast a handful of times. It's a cluster of a story that's too long to talk about on a podcast. But long story short, Ciampa's title reign was going to be significantly shorter than it turned out being. He was going to drop the belt to Brody Lee, who would then get cashed in on by Adam Cole. But yeah, no. So Ciampa was always going to lose it to Adam Cole after we dropped the invasion. It was just a matter of when. We considered it as soon as SummerSlam, but then EC3 cashed in at the last SummerSlam, so we didn't want to do a repeat. So in return, we had another cash in on SummerSlam. Shout out to Bailey.
Hey, it could be a tradition at this point.
Yeah, at this point, we've got the season 3 winners planned. I just don't know when they're cashing it in. But yeah, so it was always a matter of when Ciampa would get cashed in on by Cole, and it'll all make sense down the line where this is going. Like I said, I've teased this on Discord a lot. Probably one of the biggest matches in LS11 universe history is being announced on Friday.
Definitely looking forward to it. Like I said, I commented in your Discord. The Survivor Series card already is looking very good. I'm really excited for it.
Trying to think what it's going to be.
I don't think you're going to get it. I think I could give you like 10 minutes and you still probably wouldn't get it. And the thing is, when I announce it, everyone's going to go, that makes so much sense. But it's something you wouldn't think. It's like the El Generico thing the other day. It made too much sense, so no one wanted to pick it.
Yeah, I was not expecting No Name to come back as El Generico because it's not Sami Zayn.
No, it can't be.
No. It can't. I mean, El Generico said it today on Raw himself. Sami Zayn's taking care of the Mexico orphanage, so El Generico's here to take care of the U.S. title.
I mean, personally, with our champions, we had a little bit of a rocky WWE championship history in the beginning. That's on me. That's on
really?
me.
I've never heard about that. Something with Drew McIntyre and Sami Zayn and Kevin Owens, something like that.
Hey man, it's history.
And me calling that triple threat like the day you did the Battle Royal.
I just want to let you guys know that It was a whole ploy to make the WWE Championship way less prestigious than the Universal title before Greg Tree even took over.
Oh, that's great.
Well,
It's
whoever
like
my
how I was
champ-
clear. It's like how I was obviously burying Ricochet on Raw so that I could send him to Ray, and Ray would have to fix him.
Exactly.
And now Ricochet's
Ray's
undefeated.
time.
Yeah, Ricochet's undefeated in season 2, so just wait till I get him back. I'll ruin him again.
He's gonna come up. He's gonna come up from being cruiserweight champion. Everyone's gonna expect a mid card push. You're gonna job him out to like Jinder Mahal or someone.
Who?
Well, yeah, good point. What was it? What was his name? Gaia here. Gaia Nahar
Ginger
Mahal.
Mahal.
Yeah, there you go.
Mahal. Yeah. I try and change it up every time I see him because, like, there's a payoff to me not knowing his name, and it will. Matt actually has heard a little bit about the payoff, but I can't spoil it yet.
Well, I'm looking forward to it.
Everything has a payoff eventually, is kind of what I've learned with booking.
Yeah, but I'm in agreement with him. I was not expecting the El Generico and Kevin Owens match to end the way it did, or as. For those of you who haven't seen it, first of all, I recommend go checking it out because it was a good match. Well, the whole
It was a way to kick off Bad Blood very quick.
it was one of those ones you're like, holy shit! Like I did not see that coming. Like I gotta watch the rest of the pay-per-view now. Like
it's great. So for those that don't know, the way it was Kevin Owens destroyed Sami Zayn at SummerSlam, set his sights on the US title and won that at Clash of Champions. I think he fought Murphy 3 out of the 4 weeks in the build to Bad Blood. Like, poor Murphy. Built him as this main event star. Poor guy loses to Kevin Owens 3 weeks in a row. That's not me dissing Kevin Owens. And so Owens declared that he was going to put the U.S. title on the line in an open challenge, but it had to be someone that Kevin Owens has never beat. You see what I did there with El Generico's arrival.
So then he's technically never beat El Generico.
No, Kevin Steen is a different person, so
exactly.
Same
Plus,
way
if it happened in universe mode, it doesn't matter if it didn't happen in universe mode, you know?
Right, and of course, like it's the same way that Tyler Black is not Seth Rollins. Tyler Black died in a fishing incident, and Seth Rollins went to WWE in his place.
Exactly. So, I mean, who's been besides Tommaso Ciampa? Let's go to Raw side. Who has been your guy on the Raw side? Like, I mean, actually, just give me a few of your guys who've been your real guys you wanted to build, like your signature guys at this point. You would want to say. So
the Zander 6 essentially.
Yes, exactly.
So Ciampa obviously takes the cake there. Gargano was doing good in NXT, but I hate to put it this way. I love Ray. Ray's my best friend. Like I said, I think Gargano only got better once he was in my hands. I used to be able to say Aleister Black, but, we won't talk about that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, we would love to. We had a similar situation with the on hands, but I don't know. When are we going to drop this?
I don't know.
We'll have to wait to talk about that because we don't know when those superstars will be debuting and where.
Fair enough. I'll probably say Bobby Roode's up there especially after this season.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Adam Cole, he was a shared project for me and Ray. A lot of NXT guys in here, obviously. Let's see if I could just pick 2 more. Rhea Ripley is one of my others. Like she's been my project since the universe started. Like I was the one that campaigned for her to win the NXT title off of Baszler and stay undefeated for so long. And let me look at something and I can give you one more.
Is it not Rollins? I'm surprised.
I love Seth Rollins, but he hasn't been the main. Like we always say that if we had to pick a main character of our universe, it's Rollins. He's kind of been the main villain lately, though. Like since he turned heel. I used to be able to say McIntyre, but I kind of dropped the ball with him this season. Unfortunately, that's completely on me, though. I'd argue Sami Zayn was there until he got injured, so El Generico would hold that spot now, just by coincidence.
Yeah.
Of course, I mean,
he's just new U.S. champion. I mean, he's just gonna slip his way right into 6th
maybe
place
the greatest debut of all time in LS11 universe.
Possibly.
So will you guys be seeing yourself holding a Slammies this year?
I want to do it so bad, and part of it is I did find a website where you can get Slammies. I want to do a Commentator of the Year award just so Ray can inevitably win it in a landslide and rub it in my face. I'm prepared for it, though. People really like Ray for some reason.
Hey
Must
man,
be the
he's
hair.
your attention grabber.
Yeah.
There's nothing
Must
wrong
be
with
the
that.
hair.
Maybe it was because he was away. Like, at one point, it was just like it was you, and he was like the special occasion. So
He
maybe,
was. Yeah, he had that Brock Lesnar schedule for so long,
yeah, exactly.
and then I
So
made
maybe
his
that's
ass
why
start
people loved
working.
him. Yeah, you shipped him all the way back to Georgia.
Yeah, I made him come all the way to Georgia from New Mexico just so that he could start commentating every
Fun
show
fact.
with me.
Ray lived in New Mexico for
Yeah.
a long time.
It was actually funny. So we started writing this universe in September 2019. We're getting ready to actually. He was going to be on the first pay-per-view, like for the full show. He moved the week before I recorded Backlash season 1.
That's tough. That is
Yeah.
tough.
So he just appeared on our quote-unquote pre-show to talk about who he thought was going to win each match.
Have you ever guys thought like maybe doing like almost a universe mode podcast where it was just basically covering universe mode?
So Ray
Maybe
was
like a
actually going to
monthly
start
thing?
doing that. Yeah, Ray was actually going to start doing that as like his solo thing on the channel for kind of our end of the week videos. He was going to wrap up everything that happened in his character, like in his commentator character, to give that heel persona more screen time because, for essentially on average 2.5, 3 hours a week, everyone's hearing me run my mouth and try and be this non-biased, but also usually babyface commentator, and Ray's only there once a month, twice a month. So he was originally going to do that. Yeah, Lesnar scheduling, he said. So he was originally going to do that, but it just kind of fell through.
We've thought about it. We've definitely put some stock into it. Not 100% sure when it or if it's going to happen, but it's definitely been brought up.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's something I'd like to do, but I do a ton for this universe already. I don't know how much. There's only so many hours in the day, and I can only have so many bags under my eyes.
Yeah. I mean, hopefully it'll eventually all pay off. Maybe you'll be sitting at 10,000 subs by the end of 2K 2022. Who knows?
Who knows? It'd be great.
I mean, you guys add diverse content too. I mean, it's all wrestling, but still, I mean, we see predictions and stuff, and that really can get your personality over.
Yeah, no.
Oh yeah, predictions video should be coming out Friday morning actually this week.
For Backlash, WrestleMania Backlash.
Oh yeah, it's WrestleMania Backlash. Of course, I gotta do a watch along of that on Sunday, so that'll be fun.
How long have you been prediction champion?
So I've actually done this math a lot, and let me look it up again. So I've had it since AEW All Out 2020, which was September 5th, 2020. So 248 days now.
No one's ever won it off you, have they?
Not since then, no. Ray and I had. So we originally did the predictions title when I first started watching in 2014. Like we brought it around in 2015, but that stuff's in the past because I couldn't tell you those records anymore. But this one, it started on me because I was the last ever predictions champ. Ray won it off me pretty quickly at TakeOver something, and I had to shave my face for it, and it was really weird. And I never want to shave my face again if I can help it. The beard takes away 10 pounds, but also adds 20 years. If I shave this off, I will look 12. But yeah, so Ray won it off me for a little while, and I finally won it back at All Out, and I have held it ever since with mostly wins, but in the more recent months, a lot of ties.
So your guys' Mania came down, wasn't it a 1 point difference? It was the main event.
Yeah, it came down to the main event. Had Daniel Bryan won that main event, it would have been a tie again. So it came down to Roman and Edge, and I was very lucky that Roman won. I pulled the clean sweep on night 2, actually. It was great.
Wow.
Comeback.
Yeah.
And yet I was still the heel, apparently.
I've lost. I've lost before. I've competed for the title once.
You did?
At Royal Rumble. I think it was like an 8-person gauntlet, pretty much.
It was an 8-person Rumble.
Unfortunately lose.
See, I might actually still have your predictions in here. I do, actually. I've still got your predictions right here.
I think I predicted Daniel Bryan to win the Rumble, actually.
A lot of people did.
Yep. Your 5-point pick was Bryan, your 3-point was Rollins, and your 1 point was Cesaro.
Really showed I knew it was Edge.
No Big E, huh?
No Big E. I wasn't thinking Big E was winning the Rumble because he was still big IC champion.
I feel like a lot of people weren't assuming Edge because it wasn't like he didn't need to win the Rumble.
No,
the match at Mania.
No. Didn't think he was going to.
No.
Yeah, it's funny. Out of all 8 of us, nobody picked Edge.
I feel like Bobby Lashley could have been a better Rumble winner, if I'm being honest.
That was actually Ray's 5-point pick. So had that happened, Ray would have been predictions champion. I can't say he still would, because if Mania went the way it did, I'd be the champion again.
I honestly can't even tell you what the next WWE pay-per-view is going to be. Is it Money in the Bank? Are we there yet?
I think it is. And speaking of that, I'm glad I've got you both here. I've got a bit of a pitch for Money in the Bank while I'm here.
Okay, let's hear it.
So, win, lose, or draw between me and my uncle this Sunday. Why is my uncle challenging for the predictions title? I don't know. He kind of bullied me into this with Twitter. He kind of cyberbullied me into defending against him. But win, lose, or draw between me and him. Money in the Bank, I think, has been traditionally 6 competitors the last few years. So I'm thinking champion and challenger is one thing, but I'm thinking we have a 6-person predictions ladder match. And by that I mean I gather 6 people. Let's just say off the top of my head, Ray, you two, my buddy Carnold. Carnold, you over there? Carnold? Yeah, I'm right over here. Okay, good. And 2 others that we'll figure out later on. And I just do a little random number generator. And that generator determines who represents you in the briefcase ladder match. If your guy wins the briefcase, you're next for the trip. You're next to challenge for the title.
That is different. So you wouldn't have a challenger that pay-per-view?
No, I still would.
That actually,
unless we just couldn't find people.
I think that's a great idea, actually.
I like the idea.
That's very interesting. So, are you going to number the competitors like 1 through 6, and then we'll all get a number, and then you spin it, and if you, or actually, instead of us getting numbers, like, okay, this is your spin. If you get 6, you're said. Okay, that's actually
exactly what I was thinking.
It's a really cool idea.
So I think me and GREGTREE will actually be competing for our personal world title, but we would love to participate in that.
Wow.
In the future.
If you ever need another challenger for your title, I will gladly drive all the way up to Ohio to collect another one.
Ours won't be all that pretty. It will probably be a former WWE Championship toy foam belt.
Dude, that's where we started. This has only been around. This has only been around since January. Like I don't even know how I paid for this. I think I'm still paying for this actually.
We might get there one day. Depends how the predictions go.
We could battle for my replica world heavyweight title.
I was thinking more that we make the spinner belt and I take a hammer to it a few times and get some spray paint. But I'm down for the world heavyweight title. That was my idea. I mean, I have spray paint in the garage.
I was thinking about it. We could take our replica toy world heavyweight and spray paint PTW on it.
In fact, while you guys are talking about that, you'll give me 2 seconds.
We could take your replica belt.
Yeah, no, we're not spray painting that.
We could do that bite of pasta while he's gone.
So this has been hanging on my wall for about 6 months now. But when I say this didn't all start with the big gold, this is how my predictions championship reign started 5 years ago.
Lovely. That's great.
I'm a little... people tell me I'm a little self-obsessed. I don't see it.
I don't get it.
Yeah, I don't know where it would come. I don't know where the idea would come from that Zander Carver, Zander Mania, LS11, the greatest predictions champion of all time, and even in the slightest self-obsessed.
Hey, I mean, maybe we can run the whole belt collector storyline with you if you wanted to,
Oh yeah, take your title.
Our title too.
Yeah, come get your. I'll drive up, grab your title.
We'll mail it to you at that point. You just got to mail it back.
Yeah, no, I'll drive up, record some commentary while I'm there, drive away.
I'll be looking like Kenny Omega with the 3 belts on.
I got 2 more belts in the other room. Yeah. I could do it.
So we would be interested in you potentially, I don't know, maybe guest commentating in the future if you were down.
Oh, I'm totally down. I love commentating. It's my favorite part of the process.
Maybe for our next Big 4 potential Rumble.
Sounds fun.
I haven't ran this by you, but I think it'd be a cool idea for Mania to open up the show with numerous other content creators.
Absolutely not, because it was your idea.
Okay.
No, I'm just kidding.
All right.
I'm just kidding. No, I'd be down just to even, help other people grow and stuff like that. I mean, more exposure for everybody.
And you guys just saw behind the scenes of how our how we debate topics. I bring one up, he shoots me down immediately.
That's how it is with me and Ray. It's just I get shot. In the words of Tony Stark, I just pay for everything and make everyone look cool. Ray gets to shoot down my ideas immediately, though.
So you're hitting it.
Got a cramp.
Well, anyways, to segue on that, how long are you going to hold that prediction style? Are we going to see 365-day rain?
I'm hoping for 435 days, just to beat Mr. Brooks by 1.
He is not a CM Punk fan, to say the least.
Well, I have my reasons. I do have my reasons. In fact, let's see if I can find my reason.
CM Punk has blocked him on Twitter.
There goes the fun. There goes the fun of the reveal.
Oh, oops.
It's fine. I'm still gonna find it. It's somewhere in our.
He's gonna Hawk Hogan that predictions title, man.
Never gonna.
Ray's gonna finally win it. I mean, finally win it, and then Zander's gonna come out and challenge him like he's WrestleMania Bret Hart versus Yokozuna.
WrestleMania
Exactly.
12. Right? That was 12.
Nah, it was a little bit earlier than that. I think it was like maybe 6 or 7, 5, 4, something like that. I don't know. It's the worst WrestleMania of all
9.
time.
It was 9. WrestleMania
It was
9.
9.
Yep.
Neither one of us were close. So we're both guessing.
12 was the match of Hunter Hearst Helmsley versus Ultimate Warrior. That's
Was
what
it?
I was thinking of, yeah. Helmsley got squashed.
Yeah, it's Ultimate Warrior match. What do you expect?
I know, but it's like the reason I know that is I was watching a Cultaholic video today, and it was like the worst squashes of all time, and they had the Kofi one on there from Brock of his 8-second loss.
Here we go. So yeah, here's what happens if I go to twitter.com/CM Punk.
Player sass coach, baby.
Lovely.
Yeah,
So,
safe to say, even if he's in the next game, he and I aren't going to get along.
So how did that come to be?
So it's a really, really, really dumb story, and I blame another wrestling YouTuber more known for his live action wrestling and his action figure videos. That should immediately give away who I'm talking about without saying their name. Who liked to talk about how many people blocked him on Twitter.
Mm-hmm.
And CM Punk was the person he made fun of most. So my stupid 14-year-old ass sent CM Punk a tweet. And I said, hey, at CM Punk, I'm just curious. How come I always hear you block so many people? The next morning, I had a Twitter notification that CM Punk had responded, but I had been blocked, so I could not see it. The response
I wonder what he said.
I have seen the response, actually. I logged into an alt account to go see the response. And it was, I love blocking people. I especially love blocking their second accounts when they ask to be unblocked.
Oh, he assumed you were a second account, eh?
I have no idea.
Wow. That's actually kind of funny. Just for him to blatantly come out and just kind of say, I love blocking people.
Yeah. I think CM Punk's the only person in general on Twitter that's blocked me. I could be wrong. I might have pissed off some people.
So, Xander, give me your thoughts. I'm trying to personally get Greg Tree to do the thumbtack spot.
I actually stepped on a thumbtack recently, so frick no. I got my one F-bomb in on this one. I'm trying to keep it PG-13 over here.
Fuck.
There it is.
We're not monetized. It doesn't matter.
That's fine. Neither are we. I think we actually dropped our first PG-13 swear on LS11 University. I could be, or at least in character. I know Ray straight up said "fuck" on WrestleMania, so I will never forget. So I don't know if either of you. I don't remember how much you guys have seen of the original Mania we did, but
I've seen
Ray's
parts.
whole So Ray's whole thing is he hates Johnny Gargano. Ray in real life loves Johnny Gargano, but Ray the commentator hates Johnny Gargano and worships Tommaso Ciampa. When Gargano tapped out Ciampa at our WrestleMania, it's still one of my favorite commentary lines of all time. I just go, Gargano has climbed to the peak of the mountain, and you just hear Ray go, this is a crock of horse shit. And the worst part was people in the chat were like, we agree, Ray. It's like, no, Johnny's the face.
I know, and then everyone's joining the heel, and they're joining Ray, and basically And it's essentially, in a way, it would be similar to like the crowd booing, even though Johnny was the
Exactly.
face.
So Ciampa's by far your most over superstar.
I would argue Seth Rollins, just based on our
Oh
vocal
yeah,
fan base.
I forgot about that. Sorry.
Yeah.
That
So
one's on me.
Those
been
that
there.
are just fans of PTW and haven't watched LS11 Universe, if you tune into an LS11 Universe premiere or any episode at all that features Seth Rollins, and you look at the comments, oh boy, you are in for a treat. We have a very vocal Seth Rollins fan base.
You should Vince McMahon them and just have him lose like 40 matches in a row.
I mean, I kind of have. If we're being fair.
I mean, he won the tag team championships, but what do those mean? I mean,
that was just recently, but you look at his track record. Other than that tag team title win, Seth Rollins' last real pay-per-view win was Survivor Series Season 1.
I mean, you buried him as champion too, I recall.
Yeah, so Matt was actually in a Discord call with me when I was doing the win-loss record. Seth Rollins had like a 50-50 record in his run as champion.
Would you say he's your worst, world champion outside of EC3, or would he be worse than EC3?
EC3 was worse. EC3 was worse. If we're going by the World Heavyweight Championship, Adam Cole's already better than Seth Rollins. Sorry to break it to you. Just the title win itself. 2 days. Yeah, he is at 2 days so far, but it is already the best, better than Rollins. So we did a tier list about this a couple months ago, and I believe
tier
we put
list,
Rollins,
my favorite thing on YouTube.
I think Rollins was our second worst world champion, and oddly enough, Daniel Bryan's world title run was third.
Really, I didn't get to see much of it.
Well, it was as simple as this: he won it in a ladder match against Lesnar. He beat Lesnar at SummerSlam, and he was then cashed in on, and then that was it.
So he didn't really have much of a reign.
Right. Yeah. It was not the reign was supposed to turn into a blood feud with EC3 that would go for another 3 months, but we've been over this a lot.
Yeah.
EC3 day title reign.
It was technically 28 days, right? In universe mode terms?
In universe, yes. But in real life, we only got him for 3 days. Same with Gallows and Anderson.
Ouch.
Yeah.
We're yet to run into that. We were real scared about Aleister Black. Real scared about Aleister Black.
Yeah. So, yeah, it's actually kind of funny. This will give you a little PTW exclusive here. So I've told the story many times that Aleister Black was going to beat Demon Balor and win the WWE title at SummerSlam. So what people don't know, that the planned Mania match for Aleister Black was a WrestleMania rematch. The main event of Mania Season 2 was going to be Black versus Murphy for the world title.
Wow. So it came full circle.
It was going to come full circle, and we even were considering doing it as 2 out of 3 falls as well.
Was Buddy going to win?
That I cannot tell you. Because 1, it'd be a little spoiler, and 2, I don't remember. I genuinely don't remember.
That's right. Yeah, we kind of ran into that with, even with you.
Yeah, I had a lot of my roster released recently.
Yeah, between Andrade and Samoa Joe. Who
else? I had EC3, who was already released. Then Daniel Bryan's contract has expired. One of my other guys.
Yeah, Daniel Bryan's caused me to be in a state of panic since 10 o'clock this morning. So
whatever happens with him would be very interesting because he has some plans in the future.
I'm just thinking about how interesting it is for like Murphs. Both of his world champions then would be not with WWE.
Yeah, Samoa Joe's his world heavyweight champion, and Daniel Bryan's his WWE champion.
And if Daniel Bryan leaves, then he has to drop those. But he pretty much dropped both those belts at Mania.
I mean, I think they're both dropping him anyways. So
yeah. So I was actually looking at his roster deck. He's got a really nice website, and so thing.
His website is beautiful. I one day hope and pray to have that.
Yeah, me too. So beautiful. Funny thing. Nobody knows this other than me and like 2 other people. I actually own the rights to LS11universe.com.
Really?
I just haven't started it yet. But my dad bought the domain for me as a Christmas present because he didn't want anyone stealing that from me.
How much are those?
It depends on domain to domain.
How common it is?
Yeah. Like my dad had to buy his own name as the website for his company he's working with.
Okay. Actually, do you want to think about how did LS11 come to fruition?
So that's a great question. I kind of it's kind of my. You want to know how I got these scars story? I change it all the time. And the simple story behind it is an acronym that I pretty much try never to reveal what the acronym means. All I will say is the acronym stands for two childhood video game characters of mine, and 11 is the age I was when I made it. But it stuck around, and it used to be their full names, and then 11. Then it became LS11 Gaming. Then it became LS11. Then Zander LS11 and LS11 Universe. And it stuck for so long that I actually have it on my shoulder.
Oh, I had no
wow.
idea that was tattooed on you.
You didn't know that?
I had no idea.
I had no idea.
Yeah,
How long have you had that?
Since the week after my 18th birthday, so since 2018.
Wow.
Holy crap! I had no idea you had that. LS11 Universe is for life.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've always made, so this actually predates LS11 Universe. I've always made the joke that I'm just gonna like in Comic Sans font Universe added on.
Maybe one day if he keeps.
Yeah.
I mean, it's about to pass. I mean, potentially pass your main channel here soon.
Oh, probably. Given the LS11 Universe is coming up on its second birthday, like funny thing is WrestleMania will actually be around the time of the second birthday of the series. And it's gotten 500 subscribers in just a year and a half. And my other channel has gotten, in a year and a half, -1 subscribers.
You know, maybe for your SummerSlam predictions, you should do, if you lose, you get Universe tattooed. If you win, Ray shaves his head.
I don't know if I want to ever make a tattoo a punishment.
You should.
That would be a bad idea.
Be like, Ray, if you lose, you got to get LS11 tattooed on you.
On your forehead.
But Zander edition. You should make him go to the Brock Lesnar tramp stamp.
Oh my god.
That would be a good one.
You know, an interesting place would be to get a tattoo up here in your head.
I've seen those.
So then like eventually when you grow your hair back, you can hide it. But then you always know
Cop the P&T right there.
You always know you have it. You have it right up here.
Right on the side of the dome.
Oh, jeez.
So we definitely got to do one of Ray as well to get the full table read.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm scared to listen to that, but I will listen to that when that comes out.
Hey, man, that could be your guys' next podcast if you wanted.
That's between you and Ray. You got his Discord.
If you'd be down, man.
Despite popular beliefs, I am neither Ray's keeper nor am I Ray's significant other. That was a big rumor in high school.
Really?
There was a big rumor in high school that Ray and I were seeing each other in more than just a friendship way. And those were all debunked when I got a girlfriend, so.
Tough. It's kind of messed up.
So what I was thinking about earlier when you were talking about how like you really enjoy booking is, if you were ever offered a job by any promotion to join a booking team, do you think you'd take it?
Yes, but probably not with WWE.
That's actually kind of what I thought your answer was going to be.
Yeah, well, with WWE, I'd get fired on the first day because Vince would rip my script up and I'd tell him to go to hell. I would tell him to go to hell in my head, and I would probably just cry instead.
That's Big Daddy.
That's how I am with my boss nowadays. So that's fine.
I mean, you're a journalist major, right?
So I'm working on it, yeah. So I could end up in the wrestling world. You never know.
Yeah.
Oh, excuse me.
Have you ever thought about going to the broadcasting world to potentially land like a ability to be a host of a show or even like a commentator for a sports show, whether it be wrestling or not?
Well, that's actually kind of built into the journalism career path, actually. They kind of go hand in hand. So with all this stuff, like where we are right now, I've got a lot of broadcasting experience. And of course, I've had a couple articles published here and there by newspapers and websites and stuff.
That's cool.
We both took the business route. His is a little bit more official.
Who, me?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. I'm just a finance major.
Yeah.
I'm going to real estate school.
Oh, fun.
So we're going to build a wrestling arena, abandoned warehouse in the future.
Well, if you need a commentator and ring announcer, I know a guy.
You're going to take the thumbtack bump.
I will do
if you need a commentary duo, I know another guy too.
As long as I can wear a shirt. No, Ray's wrestling. He's 6'7". Let's chill out.
Oh, yeah, the town we live in started a wrestling promotion actually.
Really?
Yeah, and Ray and I have been for months joking that Ray needs to sign up to train with them and we need to debut as Ray as the big man, me as the little man manager, even though I'm 5'11 and a half, I'm not little. Compared to Ray, I am. And I need to be his manager, and we need to come in and be these guys. They're like, you are in the presence of celebrities. We have 558 subscribers.
We have an army. What do you have?
I have Ray. I have Ray. He'll look intimidating, and then you'll ask him what his opinions are on an obscure metal band.
So it reminds me of just like the scene from the Avengers. Like, we have an army. What do you have? He's like, I have Ray.
Yeah.
Ray's like my Hulk.
A lot of Avengers quotes so far today.
Yeah.
I mean,
Tony Stark one.
Yeah. Tony Stark and I, well, we seem to go hand in hand. No idea why. It's almost
So
like
is there any like super creative things coming up in Universe, like different types of pay-per-views you might be potentially bringing up here soon?
So it is just going to be Survivor Series, TLC, Rumble, Chamber Mania for the main roster. But over at NXT, we've got Takeover London next weekend on the
13th.
on the 22nd. 22nd.
13 days. 12 days, right?
Yep.
13 days
Yep,
now?
12 days.
12 days
12
now.
days. Yep.
So,
Saturday the 22nd.
So 11 now. It's past midnight.
Oh, yeah, it is. Oh, wow. Didn't even notice that. But yeah, so that's coming up in 13 days. I can't say too much, but I believe we have another Halloween Havoc type special coming up for NXT.
No,
We did Havoc.
Yep. And then we've
yeah.
got Takeover Portland and Takeover X, which is going to be our 10th Takeover.
Wow.
But one thing that I've talked about a lot, and all the stars would have to align for this to work. I talked about this on a live stream the other day, but I'd love to talk about it more. If for the stars to align for this, Ray and I would have to be like in the same 5-minute area of each other for a full week. We would have to have an even bigger fan base than we already, or more willing to vote on things fan base than we already do. And Ray would need to be here while I record the pay-per-view. I would love to do a Cyber Sunday one day.
I think it was Gorm Perkins did it, and I watched their entire live stream of it because it was so interesting to see like a universe mode Cyber Sunday.
Yeah, like Cyber Sunday might have actually been Mathwiz's last pay-per-view.
I'm not sure. I haven't watched it yet. I'm currently going through his universe mode.
I think it might have. I think you're right.
I think it was because I remember who won the U.S. title on that show without spoiling it for Mata. I remember who won that, and he never defended it, so there was never another pay-per-view. Yeah, I'd love to do Cyber Sunday, like just for fun stuff, like what former disciple should Seth Rollins fight? Murphy, Murphy, Blake, or Cutler, and that's just throwing ideas out because Cutler and Blake aren't around anymore.
Yeah,
Aleister Black confirmed being a disciple.
Yeah, a little slip of the tongue there, clearly. We actually finally did plan his return today after a year.
Thank God. He's honestly probably, I think, could be the WWE's biggest star.
Yeah.
Yep, they're just, they didn't get it.
I mean, he might potentially be this guy's biggest star in the future. Who knows?
Yeah, maybe. I don't know. Who knows? I may job him out to
Jinder Mahal.
To Jeff Hardy.
Who?
Jinder Mahal. Jinder Mahal. Jinder Mahal.
I don't understand what you're saying, Matt. You're speaking another language.
Sorry.
He means Jinder Mohil.
Oh, okay.
Big Show.
Big Show.
Yeah, Big Show. I know who that is.
So I've just made a very exciting new tag team in Universe Mode. I'm very excited for you guys to see it. It is Jinder Mahal and Big Show's Express Train.
Big Show's in a tag team by himself? How's that work?
Oh, my sorry. My sorry. I mean, never mind. Just go ahead and go on. But
it's just called the extra Big Show. There's two of them.
Yeah,
it's the Big Show show.
But our so with our universe mode, to get back on a little bit of a track, we went back to like more of a like how it was back in the day in 2002 or two.
It's like Big Show and Paul White. Go ahead. Sorry, just thinking about it.
We might be potentially doing a big 5, but at least big 4 and then all exclusives. Our big 5 would include King of the Ring at that point.
Okay.
Because we want to do that pay-per-view
Yeah.
before SummerSlam. We might potentially do it. Who knows? But like we're going back for like the Armageddon, Judgment Day, Halloween Havoc was one, Great American Bash, like pay-per-views like that. Like I don't want to do any like stipulation pay-per-views outside of Rumble.
Yeah.
Right.
So I mean that's one of the big things we want to bring back.
Yeah, and like with stipulations, Ray and I actually genuinely talked a couple times about moving the briefcase ladder matches to WrestleMania and just getting rid of the pay-per-view, but
Yeah, our thought is to either do WrestleMania or SummerSlam.
We even thought that, or we thought instead of the traditional 4v4 Survivor Series, we might do a 4v4 like ladder match, and then or 8-man ladder match for like the briefcase.
Yeah, because we started at an odd point. We started in September.
Yeah,
we even thought like if War Games is in the next game instead of Survivor Series, like the 4v4, we'll do a 4v4 War Games.
Man, I want that so bad.
That would definitely be better because we don't have an NXT brand right now, so that would be able to get us War Games.
So it's actually kind of funny that you guys mentioned War Games. I feel like now that Christian is in AEW, and we're going to play with my voice model a little bit for this bit. Now that Christian's gone and he's not our SmackDown GM anymore, I feel like I can tell this story. It wasn't even really a story; it was just a bit of a bit, obviously. And it was going to be the Undisputed Era on SmackDown still at this point, and this was going to be for season 3. If War Games was in the game, Christian was going to come out and confront the UE and whoever they were against, and he was going to say, "Guys, the way I see it, there's 8 of you in Survivor Series is coming up, and there's only one way to settle this, and that's in." Wait, hang on. And he's going to pull out his phone, hit a couple buttons, and he's going to, "Hello? Yeah, hey, I need you to do the thing. Please? Will you do it?" All right, cool, thanks. He's going to put it down, and then we're going to see if this sounds like I'm coming through a telephone when I click this. You would hear William Regal on the other end of the phone go, "War Games!"
Absolutely. Has to happen.
I actually added that to my soundboard. It's like all 9 times he said War Games in one button. It just goes War Games, War Games, War Games, just over and over again.
What a great general manager, man. Should have been world champion.
He should have been.
Is there any guys you feel like you missed the mark with? Like who could have been world champion in universe mode? Not without spoiling anything, but like, do you ever feel like there was a guy what should have been pushed in somebody else's place?
I think
minus the EC3 thing.
I think I can answer one for him, and it's just the guy that was that they were unsure of in the company. It's Aleister Black.
Yeah, that was going to be my first one immediately. I'm going to look at the roster real quick, and I'll tell you. So Bray had the world title, obviously. Let's see here. I could never be on board with Braun, so that's why he's never had it.
Absolutely will never happen for us.
Yeah. To a stranger extent, I know a lot of people really like Jeff Hardy.
Champ for me. Yeah.
I know a lot of people really like Jeff Hardy, and I like him to an extent, but I think I've missed the mark if I'm ever going to do a Jeff Hardy world title run. So I think instead, eventually Jeff Hardy will find himself in a feud with another family, and he might have to fade away and classify himself as obsolete. You never know. I think maybe I should have struck more while the iron was hot with Cesaro earlier this season when he first came up from NXT and he turned heel on Gargano and he won the IC title. But he then just kind of lost it to Nakamura and has kind of fallen down the card again. So I think I kind of missed the mark on that one. I wish I could have done a bit more there, but maybe recovery time for Cesaro will come soon.
Yeah.
I mean, like, you told me you're SmackDown 6. Like, right now, you're Zander 6. My guys have been definitely Cesaro has probably been my 1.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, he's in the feud with Cena right now. If I had an outlook of a year from now, he probably will end up being the biggest star. Like, I would be okay with that. Without spoiling anything, I would be 100% okay with Cesaro being my biggest star.
Oh, yeah. He was like... Cesaro was like the guy in the original universe, like when it was just me doing all these plannings and Ray was just brought in to see what kind of madness I'd constructed.
Mm-hmm.
Like Cesaro won the Rumble, he won the title at Mania, he main evented every show between Mania and Night of Champions. He was still in big profile matches. And that was just kind of...
I mean, who knows? I mean, the land of opportunity is coming up with Rumble. I mean, of course, you have Survivor Series, your next pay-per-view, but that only means you're, 2 to 3 months, 2 months away from Rumble. And that,
Yeah.
I mean, 30 superstars enter, and obviously only one comes out. So you can have 30 guys that could very easily, like, win that and take advantage of that Rumble spot. So that's what I think Rumble's probably my favorite pay-per-view.
Oh,
is
yeah.
because of what it means to win it.
And I can actually, I'll do another bit of an exclusive reveal here. I'll be talking about this on other live streams, so it's fine. I actually wrote the Rumble last night. In fact, about this time last night, I was still up writing the Rumble. But I decided instead of just playing the Rumble like it's the game this year, I'm actually going to be using exhibition mode and highlight reel and stuff a lot more to do an almost cinematic style Rumble.
Yeah.
So you can get more actual spots in there.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I've definitely been thinking. Well, I'm pretty sure we're going to be doing that for ours.
Yeah,
we might have to delay it just a little bit, but I definitely want to be doing that.
I'll warn you, I did that in 2017, and I did a 40-man Rumble that year, and the women's Rumble wasn't a thing yet. But I had a 40-man Rumble with the exhibition stuff, had it beat by beat planned out. That was actually the year Zack Ryder won it in my universe, and we won't talk about that today. I rebooked him recently. It's fine. But yeah, I started that at 8 in the morning when I woke up, and worked nonstop on it until 4 in the afternoon. So just a little warning of how long a beat by beat Rumble can take.
I feel like it'll probably be me if we do that. It'll probably be me doing it on 19 because it's just a better engine at that period of time.
Yeah.
Hopefully, I'll be PC'd up at that point.
Hope so. I mean, unfortunately for me,
I might need to borrow you a few hours to help me install mods. So.
Oh, you're good. I won't mind. It's easy once you get the hang of it.
I was just say I was watching my brother do it because he used to just play for fun, and he would even add all like the PNGs of superstars and stuff. And he was showing me, he's like, yeah, you just download it, you literally drag and drop them into the folder because you can like the way you like select it. I know it's like if they were in a game in the past, it's so easy to do because they already have a player model saved in the Ukes like software.
Yeah.
So
that's exactly how it is.
Like he was showing me, like, because he got of course our favorite superstar growing up was Punk, so he got Punk in and he played the entrance, and I was like, damn, that's really cool.
You have it, but you just haven't modded it, right?
Yeah, I'm worried my computer won't be able to run it smoothly. I'm waiting to get a new like motherboard and PCI and stuff.
Yeah, I don't even know where to start PC wise. What kind of PC I would get?
Yeah,
I need something. I'm scared I'll get something and it won't be able to run it or do what I need it to do.
Yeah. Everyone always thinks that I like built mine and I know all this stuff. I don't know shit about PCs actually. Like I am very PC illiterate. Like I paid $850 for the one I've got. I used my graduation money for it. These monitors that I'm using now, I bought with my birthday money last year. So I'm just making it up as I go along. And my keyboard and mouse came from one of my friends, and my mouse pad. We're not going to talk about my mouse pad. That should tell you all you need to know about it.
I'm feeling it might be one of those ones,
One of those ones that even on a not family friendly YouTube channel we shouldn't talk about. And you'd probably be right. One of those that if my viewers saw hashtag Zander is over would be trending on Twitter.
So, does your girlfriend approve of the mouse pad?
I think she has to.
Well done.
She doesn't have much of a choice.
So we've been going for about an hour.
Yeah, Ray does not approve of it, I'll say that. Yeah, I'm still good. I'm good for however long you guys want to keep this going.
I mean, you've definitely been a good first guest, to say the least.
Yeah.
Well, and I haven't abused my StreamYard powers yet. I mean, but I could easily just do this. This is the tale of Captain Jack Sparrow.
Oh no, Hanzo and Shinobi better love this collab because they're a fan of both channels.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I think they will.
Pineapple, Hanzo, if you're listening to this, still comment pineapple to see who the real OGs are. That used to be our always go to.
We always go to. We're like an hour in. We're like, if you come up pineapple,
I'll give you $1,000.
That's absolutely nothing, but it just shows you're loyal.
I
Speaking of that, we had 100 subs and we never talked about that giveaway.
Oh, wow.
I forgot about it, to be honest.
You want to do 150?
Potentially not. I have no job and I'm saving for a PC.
Yeah, I forgot. When we were nearing 100, you were working full time.
Yeah, I was making a lot more
I
money.
am only working with the utmost professionals, ladies and gentlemen.
Factual. I don't even think anybody entered the giveaway, so it's
I
okay.
think one person did, so they would have won it.
And they entered it wrong. That's the worst part. So it's okay.
Yeah, that's like me with Masters of the LS11 Universe, which is my predictions league. If you guys want to know more about that, join my Discord or check descriptions of videos. I always talk about it. It's a lot of fun.
Came up with the name, no big deal.
Yeah, Matta did come up with the name, and it got him. It's what got him an extra bonus point. And then Ray made the logo. So there you go.
I will soon be beating Zach Rushing. Just you wait.
Hey, you never know. But yeah, winner actually gets like a trophy and a signed poster. It'll be cool.
That's awesome.
But,
you guys are definitely very good with your branding.
We try. I mean, I've only had 7 years to get this over, so
I would probably cop a shirt if I had money.
can't blame you. They're comfortable. Right. So what I was saying, like you guys saying they entered it wrong. Nobody has entered Masters of the L7 universe wrong per se, but what has bothered me is that people have given up points very easily by just not following directions. And that was specifically with the open challenge recently from Kevin Owens, where it said in a description, it is confirmed that the person accepting this open challenge has never been beat by Kevin Owens in universe mode. And we got 3 people who just said, oh.
I picked Walter like an idiot.
Hey, well, Walter had never been beat by Kevin Owens in universe, so that was actually a good pick in my head.
Everybody else just made bad picks, so it made it look a little bit better, even though he's challenging for the NXT championship.
Yeah. Two people picked Seth Rollins, who was in a feud with Kevin Owens and lost to Kevin Owens a year ago. Someone picked Baron Corbin because they have no faith in my creative input.
Has Corbin done anything in yours?
No, Corbin's actually not even gotten a single win in this season. Which Corbin's only had 4 matches this season. What's really sad, and I got a couple Cleveland boys over here, so they might be upset. Miz is 0 for 14 in season 2.
We claim Johnny Gargano more, so it's okay.
Okay, good. Johnny's like 13 and 8 or something. So
Dolph Ziggler's from Cleveland too.
Yeah. Hey, Dolph's got more wins in like his first 2 weeks in NXT this season than he got in his entire SmackDown run. So
that's why we're Miz and Ziggler fans and Gargano as well.
Yeah.
I was trying to make them do an NXT takeover Cleveland. I don't think it's gonna happen.
So I'm trying to think of it. Someone said Keith Lee, and what really bothered me there, you guys follow the universe. You know who Kevin Owens beat 28 days ago for the U.S. title.
Yeah, that one.
Lee Keith.
Yeah. I love Keith Lee. Keith Lee, he's great, but it wasn't him. I'm gonna pull up the thing.
I'm sure Keith Lee will probably be WWE champion here soon. I'm sure he'll win the Royal Rumble because it's Zander's favorite superstar.
Let's see. And then we had someone say Samoa Joe before he got released, which makes sense. Joe and Owens have actually surprisingly have never faced off in LS11 universe. And they probably never will.
Unless if he
signs
back.
Yeah. And then El Generico, which was me testing to make sure that this form was working.
Just giving the correct answers.
That's what I do. That's how I make sure that I know exactly how many points are on the line. So now I'm going to turn the tables here on you guys. Has one of you ever pitched an idea so bad that the other one got actually mad at them? Because this happens to me a lot. Not
yet, I don't think.
Not mad. We're more kind of the opposite. I pitch ideas for him, and he kind of pitches ideas like for me. Mm-hmm. It's kind of an intriguing or like interesting dynamic. Like when it comes to the Rumble, we don't have a winner picked, and we're both like, no, go ahead. Like if you want a SmackDown superstar, go ahead and have it. Like you can have the Rumble win, but we're going back and forth on it because I think what we're gonna try and do, and this is kind of like a little insight thing, is try and kind of pick the Rumble winner based off of who's over at the time.
Yeah.
Or
premieres and stuff.
yeah. So like, if someone's getting a lot of attention and they're maybe only like wrestling like the second match on the card, so they're kind of like on the worst, one of the worst slots, and but people are loving it, then maybe like they'll get bumped up to the first match of the card or even start main eventing stuff, and then who knows, they might win the Rumble.
Like Ricochet's been a guy for me right now.
Yeah.
Like my premier likes Ricochet.
Yeah. I mean, I love Ricochet. Despite my booking of him, I love Ricochet.
He's been a very strong candidate on SmackDown. He hasn't lost much. But I have a very high arcing idea for him.
Let's see how he's doing in LS11 real quick. So in LS11 universe, Ricochet went 11-7 in season 1 and is 10-0 in season 2.
Like a lot of I guess you could say here, like we've had times where certain superstars were booked. Like Greg Tree had a certain superstar who's one of my favorite, who was not booked at all pretty much from start to WrestleMania. So we made a trade because we knew the other could book the other person better.
Yeah.
So
I ended up giving him Lars Sullivan, and he'll probably be Universal Champ come Mania.
Yeah, and in exchange you got Jackson Riker, right?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And he'll be winning all the belts. He'll be Ultimate Dragon of your universe.
Yeah.
So yeah, I mean, he'll be tag team champion by himself, WWE champion, Divas champion with the butterfly title, and of course, probably ECW champ.
Yeah.
So fun fact that the stupid butterfly belt may actually be making an appearance in LS11 Universe in the next few months. So all with good reason. All with good reason.
They're up real quick.
Let's just say that if someone brings it back, it will be because it fits them and they see themselves as a champion, but nobody else particularly likes them. In fact, going so far as to claim that person can't wrestle and probably shouldn't be in the company after being rehired recently.
Oh my God.
But that's none of my business, of course. I gotta be careful with this thing. If I held this thing too close to my face, I'd turn into Bane for a moment.
I was born in the darkness.
Only the Banes. So I asked you that question about getting mad at one another because Ray and I message about Universe. Pretty much 90% of our conversations is about Universe. And we actually have clips built into StreamYard to use against one another when we hate something. And this is the one I use mostly for Ray.
Headaches! You give me headaches!
And this is what he uses for 99% of my ideas.
No!
I would love to be in one of those writing sessions in the future.
I feel like someone has to be at some point. Someone's
I
got
wanna
to
be.
this.
To be like a moderator, you're just kind of sitting here. You're like, wow, these dudes really go at each other's heads when they're booking.
Random question:
Dude.
have you guys ever thought about bringing more people in for booking, like a creative team?
So we've thought about it, and Ray and I, like someone actually, like when we first started, we had people asking to help us write. It was weird, but Ray and I talked about it, and we've kind of agreed that the channel, aside from like maybe hiring an editor if we're ever big enough to where I send them the footage and they can cut out my fuck ups instead of me having to try and cut them out. No more pauses in the middle of matches on accident, or at least
Love
pauses that
those.
get seen. I hate them. There were like four in the main event of my. There were four in the main event of Zander Mania. So
they suck. I hate when I have a video like rendered and I go to watch it and I see it. I'm like, oh my god.
Then you got to make the decision. Yeah. Then you got to decide: do I go take this out or do I just upload my humiliation?
Yeah.
I recently had a thing with the most recent SmackDown. What is public was a main event between it was Dolph Ziggler and Pete Dunne. And it was like a 15-20 minute match. And for some reason, my editing software would not render it. Like there was a black screen and it was messing it up, so it was corrupted. So I either had to make the executive choice to completely cut the match and re-record it, or add a commercial break. And there was a commercial break in my episode.
Oh wow!
Havoc. So that's why the match went. The match went from like 8 minutes to 18 minutes to like 5 or 7 with like
wow.
a 30-second ad in the middle of it. But I was like, hey, I mean, it is what it is.
Yeah. But yeah. So on that note, I haven't had that many matches go that long before. I can't remember for sure, but I'm pretty sure the longest singles match that's ever happened in our universe was not Champa. I'm used to saying anything to do with universe is about Champa. This should be Tommaso Ciampa universe featuring Zander. But no, was Pete Dunne and Cesaro at TakeOver Philadelphia, where those two actually went for half an hour, bell to bell.
I believe the longest match we've had was Aleister Black versus Finn Balor, and I think it was close to 40 minutes.
So I think it was like
wow.
35.
I know the full recording before edited was over 50. I think it was 55 minutes.
Oh, wow.
But
that'll probably be the longest match until we do, if we ever do a 60-minute Iron Man match.
That match was like my holy grail. Like I just learned how to use highlight reel, and I honestly went all out on it.
Yeah. I don't particularly use it that much just because I don't have the time to navigate around it. Plus, I do live commentary, except for pay-per-views.
Mm-hmm. Well, all my stuff is post, so it works for me.
Yeah.
Right.
Also, each of us don't have to do 3 episodes a week, so I completely understand why you don't. Like
yeah.
if I had to make 3 episodes a week of the episodes I'm trying to make that are about an hour long, that take probably 7 to 8 hours to make, including like editing and then commentaries another hour, I would not be able to pump out 3 of those a week.
Yeah, well, fortunately, because like I do mine very different as we've talked about, but I've actually, fortunately, I've started keeping my notebook here, and actually we'll do tally marks. You can't see them that well, but like I'll write Raw 1, NXT 1, so on and so forth. And then I'll write like tally marks for how many times I paused, or I'll write down like little botches and stuff that need to be cut. It's helped with editing a whole lot. I was, because with doing this win-loss record and spending my whole Sunday on it, like literally from the time I woke up till about an hour before I went to bed.
Like a 9-to-5 job.
Yeah, man, like even doing those percentages was a mistake. That was one, and then alphabetizing it was an even bigger mistake. So
we were talking about that because we want to put something similar together, like a win-loss record. I was like, you want to do percentages? He's like, fuck no.
Absolutely not.
yeah, well, I mean, you guys fortunately only have like 20 episodes to go through if that's the case.
Yeah.
I had 241.
Yeah, I was like, yeah, we have to do it now if we're gonna do it.
So even then, I went through mine. My roster's done, by the way.
Oh, well, good for you.
I did Raw when you were sleeping this morning.
Really?
Yeah, when I was laying over here watching TikTok on your floor.
Well,
yeah, I mean, it's great. It's like you guys could name a wrestler, and I could easily look up their win-loss. Like you're like Roman Reigns.
Cruz.
Okay, Apollo, got it. Apollo is one of those who pretty much is 50-50 in LS11 universe. Okay, didn't save, but he is 10-10 in season 1, and he is 5-6 in season 2.
What's his overall record?
15-16.
Where's his draws at? Has there been anybody with any draws?
Has there ever been a no finish contest?
There have been 2, but I just didn't count them because I didn't care.
Were they ever a pay-per-view finish?
A pay-per-view? No, there was a pay-per-view that ended in count-out, though. Which was
Double
Shayna
count?
Baszler. Nope, single count-out. It was Shayna Baszler and Becky Lynch at No Mercy. That match wasn't even supposed to happen. It was supposed to be Sasha in the place of Shayna. Shayna's entire SmackDown Women's title run was never supposed to happen, actually. That was actually going to be Becky that got rolled up by Toni Storm at Bad Blood.
Really?
Oh.
Yep.
Interesting.
What made you pull the trigger?
So it's actually as simple as this. The episode of SmackDown where it was Shayna versus Banks versus Nia in a number 1 contenders triple threat. The match went for 25 minutes, and I was playing as Sasha because she was supposed to win and then just kind of lose gracefully at No Mercy. But Shayna inevitably won with her finisher, and I did not have the time of day to re-record that match. So I was like, all right, well, we can just find a way to run with this. Decided during the entrances at No Mercy that I can't have Shayna just job to Becky. Had Shayna attack her, get her counted out. Did the rematch at Battleground, and Shayna won, and SummerSlam served as the perfect place to write Becky out.
It's interesting how one, I guess, recording error can turn into a complete different superstars, has a title reign, and it ended up going in a completely different route than the original plan.
Yeah, and that doesn't happen often. The only other time I can think of where someone won a title that they weren't supposed to was Ray and Dominic at Clash of Champions. They weren't originally supposed to beat GYV, but I realized the face heel dynamic worked better for Messiahs versus Mysterios, and also Clash of Champions only had one title change otherwise.
Yeah.
So what I know I've asked you this before personally, but what do you think is the most prestigious title in your universe mode?
I would argue World Heavyweight, like if we're gonna go mid card tag, like if we're just gonna do all the different levels. Out of the world titles on Raw, SmackDown, NXT, the World Heavyweight, I would say, like NXT, yeah, it's only had 2 champions, but like no offense to Ray, Adam Cole only defended the title 5 times in a year across takeovers. Pete Dunne has defended a little more than that, but is only the 2nd champion to have done so. Over on the WWE title side of things, you had the EC3 incident, you had Roman's originally not supposed to happen title reign, the Lesnar stuff. But in the World Heavyweight title, Seth Rollins is the only champion I can think say anything negative about. Mid card, I would also argue Intercontinental. Notice every one of these is something Tommaso Ciampa has held. Starting to wonder if I have a bias.
Maybe a little bit.
Maybe a little bit. Maybe I'm just good at booking him. Maybe I'm just good at booking Tommaso Ciampa. Ray can never have him in NXT. I will not allow it.
And say also the same. Maybe you're just really good at making a face of the franchise.
Maybe I am. Maybe one day someone else will be a face of a franchise. Oops. Was that a spoiler? No, that was a clip from an old episode. Anyway. Yeah, no, so Intercontinental, I'd say it's only had a handful of holders as well, and now it's part of the UE. Pretty much every champion has had at least one successful defense, except for Nakamura, who was the inaugural champion, but that's not the point. With tag, I'm going to give it to NXT, and with women's, I'm going to give it to Raw.
Nice. Yeah, it's definitely a I would probably agree with that list. I would say, yeah, definitely World Heavyweight. We were looking at it, like I said, last night we were looking at it. World Heavyweight is definitely very prestigious. Like you said, there's 4 champions?
Yep, 4 holders.
Yeah.
And all of them have had over 100-day reigns, except for Cole, who's only had it for 2 days so far.
Yeah.
But I mean, safe to say,
who knows how long that reign's going to go? But I can imagine I can imagine it won't be anything less than 28 days.
Yeah, but I will say his first challenger, there's something about him that's going to be a little difficult to get by. No spoilers, of course.
No, none at all.
No hidden messages in there at all.
What's the matter?
Oh,
okay. Can't see something or what? All right.
well then. I think we've been almost going for 2 hours at this point, boys. Do you guys want to call it quits here?
Up to you guys, your show.
I guess we will, so my computer doesn't die while uploading this.
Probably a good idea.
Well, thank you guys all for watching. If you guys did enjoy the video, smash that like button. Make sure you guys subscribe down below. Go check out LS11 Universe for Zander and Ray. I have a feeling you'll definitely be back on the podcast sooner than
I'm sure I will.
Yeah.
I'm the draw here, so.
But thank you guys for watching. Thank you, Zander, and we'll catch you guys next time. Is Zander anything else to say?
You know what? Just because I have the power of the StreamYard, so I get the chance to do this. He's been Matta. He's been Greg Tree. I've been Zander, and that was a podcast.
He's in, boys! He did it! He said it!
All right. Thank you guys for watching.
Peace out.